We're about to sneak into Michael Grinder's training room. He's a pioneer when it comes to nonverbal communication. Let's listen as he shares some of his secrets.
Last concept. It's called associated and disassociated. Associated is when you're in touch with all the levels. Disassociated is when you're not in touch with the core. Now here's your big concern. When you do spiritual facilitation, do you want them to be in a positive state or a negative state? And when? So here's spiritual facilitation. If you make eye contact and you're talking about something that's negative, it goes to their core and they feel guilty. Then if your sequence is, now receive God's grace, some of them can't receive it because they're already in a negative state. So now we get a double guilt. They're in the pew. We have them go back and remember something that's negative they're not proud of. Then you say, receive God's grace. The first feeling guilty is, oh, I did that. Then the second one is, I don't feel God's grace. Now I get a double guilt as I leave. So you got to figure out, how do you do that better? It's a choice. You don't have to agree with me. But if this is the well of memory, and this is a negative well of memory, if you send them into that well, and then they want to receive God's grace, it's difficult. But if you bring them out of the well, and they're here, they receive God's grace before that event, and you say, how would you act differently if you had God's grace before that incident happened? Now you have higher success rate. But I don't want to take away, some of us have a belief that you've got to make people feel shame and guilt to have a high dependency on the Lord. So I don't want to take that away. I just want to make you aware of it. But there's lots and lots of churches that do that. Now here we go back to dog and cat churches. In a dog church, who's ever up front wants you to follow what they say is your relationship. In a cat church, each person has to decide your relationship with your maker. Now, if you've gone to different churches and different denominations over your years, think of the most dog church because they're dogmatic. I've been waiting all day to say that one. Take all the spiritual paths. It's not either or. It's a continuum. Because a golden retriever is a dog. A German shepherd is a dog. But they're very different dogs. You have all kinds of cats. And then you have the Siamese. If you have a Siamese, all you know is you're part of the staff. So it's not either or. Now, let's go over here. If you do the well, the cats are going to rebel. They're fine with God's grace, but they have a lot of pride. So they want to do it with God before, so they have another version of how they could have handled that. Hands if this is making sense. Hands, I need to know. So now you have choices. You don't have to buy this. Associate is what the well is. This is disassociated. Give you an example. There's 5 things you can do to do disassociation. I want you to just be aware, and you get to decide, because you're going to find I'm already doing some of these. In just a second, we're going to show you what's called direction, distance, elevation, object, and let me walk you through these. If you were going to be somewhere else in this room, in this church, and if you want to close your eyes, it's easier. Keep your eyes open, just go into a stair. Find something to look at. If you're going to be somewhere else here in this room, would it be in front of you or behind you? Would it be off to the right side or off to the left side? And nod your head as you select one of those directions. Now, how far away from your physical body would you be? How many meters? And just nod your head as you think about that. Now, what is your elevation? Would you be eye level, above eye level, or below eye level? And nod your head as you think about that. And what might be an object that is there? So it could be a window, the fan, pulpit. Now that's a disassociated state. You're removed. Now how do you get associated? If you want, keep your eyes exactly the way they are, and we're going to associate you. Start off doing an inventory from inside your body. Be aware of where your toes are. Or your feet. Are they both the same, or is one leg crossed at the knee? Be aware of how your stomach is. Are you leaning? Are you slanted? Be aware of where your hands are from inside your body. Be aware of your shoulders. Is your head straight? Is it off to the side? And then be very aware that it's Wednesday, and slowly come back. As you do, open your eyes, kind of move your body a little bit, move your body a little bit. So associated is in touch with yourself. Disassociated is separate. I remember the first time my firstborn was, and my mother gave me cologne. I had a baby and she gave me cologne. I said, Mom, I never wear cologne. She says, well, you never changed diapers before either. And what I did was I took the cologne. Every time I wanted to change the baby, just put a little cologne right there. She said, why would you want to smell when you're changing the diapers? I never thought about it that way. So I changed diapers better disassociated than I ever did associated. It's a mixture. You go through life. How much associated, disassociated? You give me gelato, I'm not talking. I'm in touch with myself. You might want to talk and I'll go like this, but I ain't going to speak. Oh, yes. I want every last bite of it. Love it. If you want to understand, if something is positive, be associated. If something is negative, give yourself a choice of being disassociated. You don't want to, it's fine, but do you have a choice? Do you know how mechanically? So, direction, distance, elevation, object. Now, you could do that in terms of spiritual facilitation. Let me walk you through with your permission. I'm going to go outside the well. If you would, think of something, not the biggie of your life. We're just learning new skills here, okay? In the last 2 months, something you're not terribly proud of, but not a disastrous thing. Some interaction, choice, decision you made, and you wish you had done a better job. And raise your hand. I need to know how many people are going to participate. Something the last 2 months. Okay, now, watch what we're doing. Go back to that event and go back even further before it started. How many seconds? Some of us, it's a day. Go before the event started. And when you're before the event started, just nod your head. Now make sure you're at an object, a physical object. If it's indoors, outdoors, time of year, have an object you're at. Have your Lord there with you. Have your Maker there. Feel the grace of God. And let the event unfold only as fast as you there with your God is watching the physical you do that event differently. Only go as fast as you need to stay disassociated with your Lord and see what happens. Give that other person, that other part of you, more choices. Okay, now start to come back to me. Start to come back to me. So tonight, when your head hits the pillow, you can continue this process. But watch how you do it. You find the well, back it up, stabilize it with an object, have your Lord there. Watch as this other person that looks just like you go into this environment, but they do it differently. They don't go down the well. They act differently because they have God's grace. And that this makes a substantial difference in terms of your experience. So the question is, if you have a dog church, then they want you to bawl them out. They want to feel guilty. If they're cats, they won't let you make them feel guilty. They'll deny. So you have to decide your philosophy of ministry. When you're working one-on-one, in just a second, I'd like someone to come up, and I'm going to do spiritual facilitation with them. It can't be the biggie of life. Can I have a volunteer who would like to have spiritual facilitation? Please, if you like. Yes? How do I pronounce your name, please? Louise. Louise. Oh, it's my Louise. Hi. Good to see you, my friend. I'm looking forward to the interview afterwards on this. Please. We've been doing email with each other. All I knew was she was a blonde, so I was looking at all the blondes out there. Which one is Louise? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay? I want you to think of something in the last 3 or 4 months. Not the biggie of life, though. Okay. You have it? Is it indoors or outdoors? Indoors. And is it, what time of day or night is it? Morning. Would you start backing it up until she is okay? That Louise is okay. How far back did you go? So you went to another day? Yeah, absolutely. So now we're in another day. Now you have to be at a different object. On that Sunday, are you indoors or outdoors? Okay. What's an object that you could be at? And that could be the real you at the object. You don't have to disassociate. Okay, so it's this, we're going to call it the Sunday Louise. Is that all right?
Yep.
All right. Are you relaxed?
Yes.
Good. I want you to think of any spiritual power that you select. Do you have a name for your spiritual power? God, Jesus?
Yes.
Super. So have God and Jesus' presence there. And make sure you can feel that presence. And see if you can feel maybe a different tingle in your body. And make sure you feel the warmth, security, the comfort of your Savior. Yes, if you like. Close your eyes. Keep enjoying. Bask in the grace of God. Know that you are loved. And what you're going to do is you're going to start unfolding Louise's life from that day forward, but you stay at the object. And what object on Sunday are you at, Louise? Is it a couch, a chair?
Just in a chair.
In a chair. What room is the chair in?
In church.
In church. So you're in church. Are you at the middle of the pew, the outside of the pew?
And at the end of the aisle.
The end of the aisle. And make sure that you have a sense of the Lord being there. And not just in the church, but with you. Can you describe your Lord's presence?
Yeah, he's like a lion and I'm like a cub.
Yeah. So kind of curled?
Under.
Yes. Protected?
Yep.
Shielded?
Yep.
Nice. You stay there in the pew with your Lord and start thinking about what's going to happen the next day. But only let it unfold fast enough so that you feel your Lord at all times. And it's only the start of that incident. And freeze it as soon as you're at the start of the incident. And just nod your head when you're at the start of the incident. Now back it up a little bit more. You're teetering on the well. We need to get you out of the well. I promise I'll be with you in just a second. Keep your eyes closed. What I'm doing is I'm watching her breathing. She started to breathe high, so she was going into the well. So when you do one-on-one, you're watching the breathing. You have to make sure she's out of the well. Otherwise, we're going to lose our Lord's presence. So now, that's better. So make sure that you, in the pew, curled up with the lion, called the Lord, watch how she acts differently. And I want you to have your Lord stretch through time and space to be there for her. And make sure you at all times feel your Lord. And what a difference it makes, knowing that you're in the grace of God. And when the incident is now different enough, make sure you come back and realize you're here. It's Wednesday night, and you're doing a demonstration with Michael. And you open your eyes when you're ready. Now, I need to tell you something else I'm doing that's really quite sophisticated. What I'm doing is I'm watching her inhale, exhale. And what I'm doing is I'm only talking during her exhale. Because during the exhalation of breath, in all human beings, cross-cultural, you're releasing chemicals of calmness. Every inhalation you do, you're releasing chemicals of fight, flight, or freeze. So I only talk during her exhalation. And you're going to find that they get sleepy, they get tired, they get relaxed, but they feel so comfortable. Can you describe it in your mic? Can you talk about it? What did it feel like?
Hello? Is that working? I felt like at first I was rushing out of that place. And just waking up in the morning and feeling a little bit tense or a bit stressed. But then when you sort of took me back again, I actually felt like, it's pretty cool actually, I felt like God was stretching out over the whole year. I actually went for the whole year.
Might as well do the whole year.
Might as well get the bang for the buck, eh? And so I actually felt like he covered the whole year, and I was under his cover for the whole year.
And did Louise in this picture act differently?
Yeah, because the picture is he's actually sitting on me, so I can't run away like a crazy girl. And I'm calmer and slowed down.
Right.
The thing that you said about slowing down.
Slow it down.
And going at the pace really spoke to me.
Yes. Now, we need to what's called integrate. And what we're going to do now is, you're still, if you go back to being in the pew on Sunday, your Lord is there, and your Lord was with the Louise ambitiously for the whole year. But let's go back to this one incident that happened the next day. Okay. When the incident is over, Louise has acted differently. Just nod your head. Okay, now make sure you invite her to join you in the pew. And have her come and try to figure out, is she on your right side or left side? Is she in front of you or behind you? And make sure the two of you become integrated, become one. You're one Louise. Nice, nice, that's nice. Open eyes when you're ready. Because we had two Louises. So then we have to bring her back and... You understand? Yeah. I have had one psychology class my whole life. So I don't know psychology, but I do know people's breathing. Because my specialty is nonverbal communication. I would invite a male, if he would like to come up, and let me do another demonstration so you can just see variation. But first, a hand of applause for Louise. Thank you. Looking for a male, looking for a male, looking for a male. Please, John. They'll be impressed I know your name.
Highly credible.
And if you just hold that.
Thank you.
John, would you think of something that's happened in the last 3 or 4 months that you're not especially proud of? By the way, this is called content-free facilitation. I don't know anything that's going on, but I can observe so well breathing that I know his process of what he's doing. And that's what makes it artistic. Do you have an incident in mind? Did it happen indoors or outdoors? In a car. And were you the passenger, the driver? Driver. Would you back that up so that the car and the driver are doing absolutely fine? Back it up. How far back did you have to take it to have it be okay? About an hour. So go back an hour. What part of the roadway, motorway, city is the car 1 hour before that incident?
That's in the driveway.
It's in the driveway. So you're in the driveway, agree? Okay, are you the only one in the car? Mm-hmm. So make sure that now you have your Lord with you. And make sure you feel the presence. Make sure you feel enveloped, surrounded by your Lord. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong do you feel your Lord?
7.
We need at least a 9. We need a 9. So take your time. Make sure your Lord can say things to you so you get from a 7 to an 8 to a 9. You never have to go 10. Never have to go 10. What number yet? I believe you. I believe your face. I believe your face. So now you and the Lord are going to start traveling. And he's got to be there at a 9. Only drive that car, not the car. You drive the car as fast as the car needs to go. But the video footage of the car traveling is what is distorted. Stay at a 9. There, that's better. No, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Okay. Now, feel the peace. There you go. Now, the incident is not going to happen the way it did. It's going to be a different version. This is God's grace version of the incident. Yeah, that's it. And it's joyous. It is joyous. Enjoy it. Relish in it. Bask in it. And let me know when the incident is different and over. Okay, now go back to the driveway. Make sure you're at a 9. Make sure your Lord is there. Now invite the John that did the original driving 1 hour later to be with you in the car. Make sure he comes over and kind of actually goes into your body and you become one. There you go. That is so cool. And just enjoy the joy of it. As Nelson Mandela said, you're a child of God. Acting small in the world does not serve your purpose. Shrinking so that other people are more comfortable around you. You're a child of God. It's okay to be intelligent, gorgeous. Absolutely. And take that, if you like, with Louise and do it for the whole year. I mean, she's ambitious, so she's going to do it. Do you mind sharing what it was like? Can you share with the people? In the microphone.
Yeah, being able to, Jesus was my co-pilot to quack, to famous movie. And at the moment of choice, a hand, it just felt very comfortable, very joyful to actually, move away from that decision point. And it felt quite easy. And it felt completely supported and comfortable. And when I came back and I got in the back seat and then got back into me, as I put my hands on the wheel, and Jesus also put his hand on my shoulder, I felt whole. I felt completed and capable and just confident about it.
Your eyes, I wish we had a picture of it. It was like the advertisement for God's grace. It was so, it's like you were washed over on a beach and just.
Very much. And that piece that you mentioned, finding that.
Yeah.
And when you could feel that, when you could feel his touch flow through you and you found the peace in it and then you knew that whatever decision you made was okay and it was possible to make a different one. So that was choice. That was great.
Another hand of applause for you. Thank you, John. Can I ask volunteers, no questions at this time, what are you walking away with? What are you going to take with you from tonight that you find helpful? The food was good. Okay, something else. The 3-point, 2-point, 3-point. Eye contact. The breathing. Associate, disassociate. Cat, dog. Yeah. Yeah.
And there was unbelievable empowerment
Yeah.
by taking God with you.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I actually did it on a more serious point.
Yeah.
And it still worked.
It still worked. In fact, what you're going to find is, for some people, they had a car accident. So what they want is not that they're with their Lord, they don't have the car accident. They recover with God's grace. So sometimes you don't stop the negative, because that's really not what's negative. It's your reaction to it.
All of a sudden it made it okay.
Yeah. Don't sweat the small things. With God, they're all small. Without God, everything is big. With God, everything is small. Yeah. Would you please thank Craig for sponsoring this tonight and putting it on and making sure.